I was once a garbage skater, and now I'm not. I was once dealing with a bunch of hip injuries, and now my hips are the strongest they've ever been. I was once a garbage athlete, and now some people are calling me a freak. It's like, where did that come from? Well, I'm just going to show you my progress over time, just so that if you're in a similar position to where I was, you can actually change. Also, I just wanted to make fun of my old self. So I'm going to circle myself on the screen just so you can see it too. This is when I was 16 years old, by the way. So that was fall of 2015. Literally all I knew was just going north south. I didn't have any like lateral ability or speed or anything like that. No outside edge either. Isn't that like the perfect power skating stride too? Really, really look at it. It's like, look at that. It's like take 3 big strides. And it's like, oh, I'm down, but then I slow down and then just have absolutely no momentum. Look how tired I got too. It's like can't even catch up. Like literally, that's a great example of just how tiring this type of skating gets. It's because like, look, I'm fast right there, at least visually. I don't have a monitor on my exact speed. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you, but it looks fast. And that's what matters most. It looks fast. We don't need precise measurements or anything like that. You actually do. But literally, like I had speed there and now I don't. It's like, what happened? It's everything's all strides too. There's nothing as far as like lateral cross unders to get speed. There's no like looseness. Everything's really tight. I stay upright a lot just because bending my knees was very hard. No outside edge still. And then, yeah, I just wasn't ready for that pass. I was like, whoa. It did get better the season after that, but it was still very rough. Now we're here 3 years later. This is actually Johnny Gaudreau's father, because I played at the rink that he grew up at. So it was basically my first ever connection with someone who is connected with a player in the National Hockey League, and is actually pretty good too. Very tight right here. It just takes so much effort, and I was running out of breath. Like I think I was out of breath by the second like turnaround, like literally. Shot took a lot of effort as well, and it also wasn't as hard of a shot as I have now. These little waddles as well that like there's just nothing. I don't get on like a good edge or anything like that. My ankles are pretty stiff. It's like there's no transitional ability. If you get someone like a Darlene who like has to stop backwards and things like that, it's like his hips are going to be dropping so much differently, which is actually going to propel him forward. Whereas because I'm so stiff in those hips and those ankles and even up and down the chain, it doesn't make me like doesn't give me any efficiency. I just get super tired very easily. Don't know where the puck is. And then because I'm so tired, I can't shoot too. It's like I have no idea where I'm shooting. So that's why it always goes wide. I'm so concentrating on doing the movements hard and fast that it just doesn't work for, keeping my efficiency or speed, which they really just go together. And to be clear, if you keep working on something in a 3-year period like this was, then you're going to improve in some way, shape, or form. See how tired I was too, like after all of that. Yeah, I kept this in because I was like, yeah, I had to stretch something. It's like something was really tight. All this was before my work with ATG as well, and just on the floor. So my shot dating back basically to when I first started, it's always been pretty decent from far away, but in tight, especially like right here, that's all bottom hand. What I do differently now is that I get into a wide stance, just like the other players in the league, and it kind of like slows. What it allows you to do is slow down and analyze both where the puck is going and where you're going to be shooting much, much faster than what I did here, where it's just like, oh, just give me the puck. Kind of bounces off my stick. I keep my hand out, and then it's like a crap shot as well. Like basically goes into the middle of the net. It's like, graphic. No wonder I didn't score that much. You could tell how tight I am too, because there's no flowiness to my movement, especially in my upper body, because my top hand will stay in place basically the whole time. Like I keep it there. There's no movement in the shoulders. It's like everything's just in the lower body. Like that's what, again, with the top hand thing. But that's what I'm referring to with being super stiff, is because like nothing is flowing. Nothing's really moving. It's just isolated in one place, which is really what everyone starts out looking like when they start skating. I got lucky there. There's no rocker on that outside edge. Like not nearly as much. It's starting to get there, but it's just like it's all like stop, basically. Like this should whip this, especially this turn. This should whip around a lot more, even though it kind of does. But it's like there's more room to have that happen a lot more, especially when you compare it to other film. This isn't a bad drill, actually. It's just my mechanics are just utter garbage. Oh yes, classic suicide, where it's blue line, goal line, red line, goal line, far blue, goal line, all the way down and back. Let's see how stiff my stride was. I also think this was around the time I was just learning some Train 2.0 stuff. So it's like, it was just starting to come around. Yeah, it was corkscrew. Look how there's no hip movement with this like corkscrew. It's all just like stiff right here. Ankles are stiff too. Like I was still able to like pull off what you would call a change of angle, but it's like it's not nearly as smooth as at all like what it is today. Oh, actually, I should also pull up my ATG progress. Yeah, this is a classic. Look at that hair too. This was right in the middle of COVID. This is my injured side for my hip flexors. Now it's kind of hard to tell if you don't know what to look for, but basically after about 2 weeks of doing this, I felt my hip flexors needed some regression. I don't have video of me front foot elevated so I can get less of a stretch in the hip flexor. But one of the ways you can tell in this clip that it's super stiff is that the back leg is rolling over and basically my knee is touching the ground on that right side. Also, the foot's externally rotated. Very hard to see if you don't know what you're looking for, but that's something to know. I was still getting hamstring to calf coverage a little bit. I can get more knee bend now than I can in that picture specifically. I literally joined ATG to fix my hips instead of just my knees, but they were working from the ground up, which is a great philosophy to train off of. But yeah, you can still tell it's just super stiff. Elephant walk toe touch. It was okay. It's not nearly what it is now. Hamstrings are still pretty tight in this video. Oh, especially the low back is very tight too. It was one of my first sissy squats. It was so hard to get up and down from this. Yeah. And I have other videos in between now and then from mostly 2019. That was when I really started filming everything. But even like right here, look how my like knees drop and then they shift over. There's that little hip movement right there. What looks like a push is actually just an additional extent, dropping of the hip. You go up and down the chain. I didn't have that in my older videos. think here is a great example too. It's like with these little like hip shifting, ankles collapse too. It's like got looseness there. Quick handles are there too. I allow myself to get wide. If this was me in that red jersey, I would have lost the puck and hit this guy. So it's like that's already like big improvement. Going to try out more stuff, going around the tripod. I think this day I did not hit the tripod at all. So it's like there's some progress there. Yeah. Learning to tap the puck forward too instead of just keeping it on my stick. I think what contributed a lot to my upper body stiffness was that I was not focused on just tapping it like I was guiding a soccer ball. This is basically how you stick handle in hockey. It's more just like these little touches, these little passes to yourself, and then you go get them. Every single stick handle is like that, actually. You can see, like, as well, I combined a few mechanics, a couple crosses, soft drag, the shot. I missed the net there, but it's like, that's way better than it was before. There's one thing I had to change about these specific crosses. I would get just a little bit more rocker on them, especially on that outside edge, because it's slipping a little bit, especially on this rep. Whereas like it's not as much of a glide as I could get with it, but like it still works. Then again, I allow myself to get into a wide stance before I shoot, which is basically how every single NHLer shoots. And if you see my Instagram stories too, you'll know that my progress with my weight training or ATG training, whatever you want to call it, has improved drastically. Here's a clip of a 200-pound ATG split squat. This is from 2022. I actually haven't tested this in a while because I haven't needed to. I'm working more on other stuff like my posterior chain, my low back, hamstrings, upper body. So that's like incline press. I was able to do this for was it 2 reps or was it 3? The video showed 2, but I edited it in post. So it's like 200 pounds for 3 reps on both sides for an ATG split squat when my hips were absolute garbage not that long ago, like 3 years ago. I bet if I got diagnosed or had like a little x-ray, the doctors would have found something that was torn. They literally couldn't walk. I don't have a video to show you of me not walking when I was 19 or 20, but I did spend a significant amount of time in both physical therapy departments, and I missed a few games too because just things were too stiff. Now they're not anymore, which is a miracle, especially compared to where I was before. My back squat is now at 350, like my full bend back squat, I should say. So it's like ass to freaking grass, like going all the way down. I don't just stop at 90. So that's 3 plates plus a 10, a 5, and a 2.5. So that's 340. That was just for the 1 rep. But how many people do you see squatting like all the way down where they basically just rest their butt on their Achilles? I think I'm the only person in my gym who can do this weight ass to grass. And I could have done more easily. I don't know about that specific day because that was like the 10th set or so, but that's my progress in 3 years. Things are completely different than they were back then. Now I've got some more testing to do with my on ice performance to see if that matches up with where I want to be as far as different NHLer standards. But hey, that was my progress over time. It's like that's 3 years of work overcoming overuse injuries and overtraining injuries. I would say by year 2, really, of fixing my hips, that was where things really started to unlock for my speed and things like that. In just this past year, I've been focused more on the strength because I'm trying to pursue a double bodyweight back squat at the very least. So that's 400 pounds. The hockey training is also something I'm looking to constantly refine. I want to get to the 13s in terms of my fastest lap time. I think my shot is okay where it's at, and my stick handling is actually okay too. What I'm creating in my Hockey Hack system is the same principle behind the measurables and weight training. We're just bringing that to hockey. So that's clear and cut that you're actually getting better. You can see yourself getting better too. You can give yourself different challenges. Maybe like you get the fastest lap just like the other NHLers, or you stack different mechanics together and see if you can do it for a perfect no error 10 times in 10 minutes, every minute on the minute you do the set. Something like that. Because the best players make the least movement errors. And when you fix your movement, which you can do both in the gym and on the ice, but I think it starts in the gym. You can do both with the gym work and the on-ice work. And then once that chassis is built, once that foundation is built, then you can progress to other things. If you master the hardware, you can keep working on the software. Much like you can't have a superstar engine on a rusty van. Even if that software is pristine and elite, if your foundation or your chassis is garbage, like you're not going to perform like you want to and like you can. I have not seen a standardized hockey system like what I've created. Legitimately, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars finding something like that. And I realized that I had to create it. There are lots of great resources out there, including but not limited to my friends at Train 2.0. Daryl Belfry is a great resource too. He's a great mind. I also think the places that Jack Hughes and Connor McDavid practiced at with Power Edge Pro and the coach that they had when they were both 13 years old, that's a pretty solid resource. But still, the results that they're getting is not what I know it could be, because it should be an NHL or factory if they were getting top-notch results. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen an NHL or factory in the real world, so now I'm going to create it. I'm going to repeat again, my family has spent tens of thousands of dollars on my hockey training, and I've created exactly that with the Hockey Hack system for a massive fraction of the price that I paid, especially in a 3-year period. If you're interested in that, I have a limited amount of spots available for full-on custom coaching where I have your entire year planned out, both all of off-season, pre-season, mid-season, playoff push as well. You're going to get a program that is tailored towards your personal needs. You're going to be able to message me one-on-one constantly. You're going to connect with a community forum. You're also going to take a look at the insights that I'm getting from my own programming. My goal with this is to streamline the hockey training process so that all you have to do is follow the program and you get results. I'm also offering solutions to bring equipment with you so that you can keep working on yourself, which is also your game. Whether you're traveling or you need to save time, say you only have 10 minutes, I have solutions for that. You can keep working on it. Say you travel a lot too and you need to find a way to train anywhere, I'll be able to help you with that. And say like places are hard to get to for you, I'm going to be able to help you with that as well. I know this system works because it literally gave you the transformation that I just showed you. But I can make it happen much quicker than 3 years. I actually have a 6-month guarantee. As long as you're completing the workouts, we work together on every single exercise. You participate in our check-ins. You follow the workouts as they're prescribed. You respect the rest times. You respect the tempos. You look at every single detail like that. You know how each workout went for you. Say if maybe it wasn't challenging enough or maybe it was too challenging, we'll be able to adjust based off of that. And say like you don't get the results that I'm promising you in 6 months or you're not satisfied or anything like that, only then will you either get a refund in your investment or I'm going to work even harder to make sure you get those promised results. It is a huge investment. This system is valued at over 12 grand, but I'm offering it at less than a tenth of the price, honestly, because it's worth that much. There's so much value in this system. Again, it created my transformation. So if you want to try that out, please check out the link in the description, to book a call with me. Again, I only have a limited amount of spots available, but please go check that out and we'll see if you're a great fit. This isn't for everyone. It's an investment. If you're serious about getting better at hockey, you're literally listening to someone who was serious about getting better at hockey in every way, shape, or form. not by working harder than everyone else, but by looking at what I could do practically that measurably got me better, something that I could manage, something that I control. And I realized that there are many, 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 many more things that I control aside from my work ethic, which was already great. But that wasn't enough. You know that there's a better way to train. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you follow me, because I have presented better ways to train that you can use, and you can work just as hard if you wanted to, and you're still going to get results. You're still going to get those transformations. You're going to get it. It's like, I literally guarantee you're going to get those results. So check out the Hockey Exfoliator system in the link below. You just saw my progress over time, transformations that I made. I hope you're up for the investment so that I can help you out the exact same way that I help myself out.